I'd like to introduce Teresa from the United States, who takes LDN for Hailey-Hailey's disease. Thank you for joining me, Teresa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And could you tell me when you first started to notice that there was something wrong with your skin?
I have actually had problems with my skin from birth. My diaper area, the growing area, would be so bad my mother would have to boil diapers.
Oh dear.
But at that time, they didn't know that it was Hailey-Hailey.
Uh-huh. Do you have
It's
a member
very
of,
strong.
sorry, do
Go
you
ahead.
have do you have a member of family with Hailey-Hailey's?
Yes, that it's very strong in my father's side of the family.
Okay.
We
Mm.
know for a fact my grandfather, my father, me, and I have children with it and have grandchildren that are presenting that haven't been biopsied.
Oh dear. Oh, it's a terrible condition to have to live with, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So,
It is
okay,
very bad.
what happened to you as a child?
The skin would break open and blister to the point of bleeding, and they didn't know how to treat it. Well, as I got out of diapers, didn't have that big a problem. I always had a problem thinking that it was chafed, but never really bad. And then I was like 31 or 32, and it really exploded. And when I first went to the OB-GYN, the gynecologist, they thought that it was herpes simplex. And he was telling me it was herpes. Went home that afternoon very upset, and my mother called the dermatologist.
Hmm.
Very, very wonderful woman. And she told me to come in the next morning, and she knew as soon as she saw it. She patted my knee. She said, "Welcome to the family, honey. That's Hailey-Hailey."
Mm.
They had biopsied, the gynecologist had biopsied, and so the results come back that it was Hailey-Hailey. As I've gotten older, it has gotten worse, and over the last 2 years, I have really not had any luck with any kind of medicines that they gave me. And so when I joined the Facebook group and found out about LDN, I started researching it myself.
Hmm.
And then I went and talked to my dermatologist about it, and he was like, "Well, you know more about it than I do, and if you think it'll help, we'll try it."
Okay. Just
And
before
that's
you
how I started.
before you started LDN, can you just give us a picture in our minds of what you had to live with, where the breakouts were, what the pain was
Uh,
like?
I have really severe breakouts under my arms, under my breast, and in the groin area. Those
Hmm.
are very hard to treat. But I break out all over my body. But anywhere that it's not in a skin fold, I don't have that big of a problem with it. I can get it cleared back up. But anywhere in a skin fold, I cannot. And it's constantly the blisters bust and weep and ooze. The skin splits and breaks open.
And do
It's
you
just
get the secondary infections and the yeast infections?
very bad,
Hmm.
very bad.
And what are you?
I have been on antibiotics, about every antibiotic there is, both orally and topically. I've been on steroids orally and topically.
Hmm.
The corticosteroid creams. I mean, if it's there, I've tried it.
Yes. And what about the pain? What were your pain levels like if 10 was the highest?
Oh, if 10 were the highest, 15.
Really?
It's not always that bad, but when it is in a flare and it gets the secondary infections, the pain is excruciating. I have had times that I could not even get up without help. I had to have somebody help me just to stand up.
Goodness. Okay. So you managed to get a prescription of LDN, and when you first started, did you notice any introductory side effects?
No, I've not had any problems with it.
Okay. And
And
how?
within about 2.5 to 3 weeks, you could start to see changes in the skin.
Hmm.
Where I have had breakouts for so long in the skin, it's not really scarred. It's just discolored and dark. that is lightening back up and changing and starting to look like normal skin
Really? And how long have you been taking it now, Teresa?
since October.
Okay, so that's quite remarkable in such a short period of time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You were saying that the breakouts never cleared completely before
No,
LDN. How often would you have new breakouts prior to LDN?
constant. And
Okay.
with the Hailey-Hailey, today you can wake up clear, and an hour later I'll start to itch, and boom, breakout. You may go 2 or 3 days. You
And,
may go 2 or 3 weeks.
and what about
It,
the 3 months that you've been on LDN? Have you had any breakouts in that time?
I did. I had
Hmm.
another flare, and it got really bad. So I stopped the LDN, done my antibiotic, and then started the LDN back. Once I got the infection cleared back out, I
Hmm.
had no problem.
You can actually take LDN with antibiotics, just as a by the way. Um,
Oh,
so now, sort of 3 months later of being on LDN, what would you say your pain levels are?
most has been about a 3
Really? Well,
because
that's
yes,
amazing.
and I was taking more tabs, pain pills, and
Hmm.
just to be able to move. I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, fantastic.
No
So
kind of pain pills. The
you,
most I have taken is acetaminophen or ibuprofen.
mhm. Your skin today in the folds, in your groin, under your breast, and under your arms, what does that look like?
Very much better. The skin is healed. I've got one little spot,
Hmm.
maybe half inch, that is still healing, but it is healing. It's not trying to spread, and it's not weeping and oozing and blistering.
So, what impact has LDN had on your life?
Major, major, because it's really making a difference. And that's what I say. I have taken everything that could be thought to take. I have tried every home remedy that I could find, you name it, and nothing really worked. But the LDN doesn't stop it
Hmm.
completely,
Hmm.
but it will clear up. If it starts, it clears back up.
So, have you got your family on LDN yet?
Not yet. That's now the thing with me. I have a lot of other health conditions and a lot of different medications, so I was working it in. Now my brother, he has severe outbreaks, and he is on a lot of different medications. Just came through chemo, so they're working with him. So, but yeah, it's definite. I told my son he has a lot of problems with it, and he's just 31. He'll be 32 this year.
Hmm.
And I've told him, which he had a stroke when he was 26.
Oh, goodness.
So he's on a lot of different medications.
Hmm.
But they're seeing that it is working with me. And Hailey-Hailey is a disease that is a constant. It doesn't go away. It doesn't recede. It doesn't go into remission. It's an everyday thing. You may have a day or two clear, and you enjoy those days.
Hmm.
So the LDN has really started to give me back some quality of life. I have custody of a 6-year-old granddaughter. We have 14 grandchildren.
Wow.
We will have another one in July.
Hmm.
And has been my thing. I've not been able to go and do with my grandchildren. So the LDN clearing up, getting to where I can move, has been a life changer.
Wonderful. Could you send me some pictures to go with this interview of before and what you're like today?
I don't have any pictures. I've not taken any pictures of it ever.
Right.
It's a very embarrassing
Oh, of course. Yes.
condition.
Yes. Well, and a fantastic remarkable story and very inspirational for other people. I thank you very much for sharing with us, Teresa.
You're welcome. I hope it helps. It helps.
What else would you like to add, Teresa?
Well, I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I am a type 2 diabetic. Along with the Hailey-Hailey, I have a lot of health conditions, high blood pressure. I started the LDN for the Hailey-Hailey, realizing that it could help a lot of other conditions. At the time that I started it, I was giving up. I was tired, muscles ached all the time, throbbing. Since the LDN, I have energy. I am coming back to life. I feel like LDN has given me a second chance because so much of my body, I was so tired, actually just ready to give up on life. I was at the point that if this was all there was left, I didn't want it. So LDN has really made a change for me. I'm up. I've got 14 grandchildren. I have custody of a 6-year-old. I'm 49 years old. I was too young to be in such a bad shape. And I feel like now I'm on the road to recovery. With LDN, even with the Hailey-Hailey, if it starts to break open, it does still happen. But before, it would continue to break open and get worse and spread. Now, if I have anything start, it clears right back up. So I'm not down for 2 or 3 weeks treating a spot and trying to get the skin to heal. Now I can deal with it and go on. And I really feel like LDN has made that change. There's nothing else that I've added or done that would have made that change. But this feeling so tired and all that I'm talking about that has changed was over the last couple of years. It had just really gotten that bad. And now I feel like I'm coming back. I've got energy. I'm able to move. I'm not taking pain pills anymore. Go ahead.
Well, it's just remarkable. And next year, this time, maybe we can do a follow-on and see how you're getting on.
Right. And I hope to say, hey, I've lost the weight that I had gained. Everything's rocking.
Wonderful. Thank you.